The Circle of Light. The circle of light is you and me. It's where we can feel safe to be. The shame, the shadows can fall away. We question our thoughts. We change the way. When we change the way we see the world, we change the way we are. Good morning. This is Bernadette Petrie, the Soul's Life Coach and creator of the Barefoot Sanctuary. And if you're watching this as a recording from later, this is the Circle of Light. It's an online healing session that I've been running live from my home here, obviously due to COVID-19, for the last 7 weeks. So I'm just going to be waiting to see who's coming on for the live version. Good morning. Good morning, Francis. Yeah. Oh, welcome, honey. How are you today? Fiona Morris, good morning. So wonderful to have you here with me, guys, today. So we're just going to wait a few minutes and see who's coming on live, and we'll start to pull some cards, and then I'll explain what we're going to be doing this morning. So let me know if you're staying for the whole session. Caroline, good morning. Oh, so lovely to have you here. The music playing in the background is Flower of the Universe from Disney's A Wrinkle in Time. So it's pretty cool music. So let me know if the volume's okay. Just turn my volume up a bit. Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. So I hope you've got a candle lit for yourself. I've got some lovely crystals displayed out with me. I'm kind of going down the chakra lines this morning. I have my lovely warm drink, so I hope you've got a warm drink. Comfortable clothes. Headphones are really good if you want to be able to get it straight into your head, because for most of this, for about 40 minutes of this session, you'll have your eyes closed. So it's more of an auditory experience. So if you want to get those now, if you don't have them to hand, do grab them. Oh, how nice. Yay. So delighted you're here for the whole session. So yeah, so I think we'll start pulling some cards. We'll pull the 5 cards. Oh, good morning, Susan. Hello, my love. Oh, week 6 this is of week 7. So week 7, but week 6 in terms of, no, this is the 7th one. This is the 7th one that we've done the whole time. Hot chocolate made, candle and incense on. Cool, and I've got some incense on too. Oh, it's gone out. I must light it again. I have got this lovely, it's beautiful Palo Santo crystal. I got it from Earth Matters here in North Berwick before lockdown, although I see that they are open for pickup now. But I'm going to light this too. I wish you could smell it, but you can't. But I'll just imagine you can smell some sage and Santo Palo coming your way. Really nice stuff. Really good stuff. So we're going to stay there. I'll pop you down here actually, and then I can keep an eye on you. There we go. So today, where's my notes? Today, I'm just going to pause that for a second. Today I was thinking, as I was preparing yesterday for this session, the thing that came through very strongly was your job is to be joyful, to be joyfully you. Okay, and that's really where I hope we get to it. The place at the end is for you to remember your job is to be joyful, to be joyfully you. And hopefully on the journey you'll maybe have just made peace with a part of yourself, brought back a part of yourself into your heart so that you can do the job you came here to do, which is to be joyfully you. And that ties in actually with chapter 30 of my book, so I'm going to read that just at the start too. But for now I'm going to pull the cards and wait to see if anyone else is coming. So we're going to pull actually, we normally pull 5 cards, but I'm going to pull 3. I started to do this on a daily basis on the Instagram feed, where I pull 3 cards, and I've loved that it's kind of felt, it's really resonated. It seems to work really well for people. Past, present, future. Obviously, everything happens in the now, but there's a sense of where, what we had to pay attention to in the now that was the past, in the present, or sorry, in the past that was the now at the time, in the now, and in what we'll have to be doing in the now that will take us to the future. Hope that makes sense. But it's kind of what's already happened in the now of the future. That's kind of where I'm going. So it's more like the traditional, using the cards, the permission to shine cards, in that kind of more like the tarot format, where you sort of do the 3 card reading, and it's just so lovely. So let's see, and then these cards will hopefully resonate with all of us. And if any one of these thoughts then means that you can hook back into that thought as a mantra to bring you into the now. The one from the past, you might be able to we'll say it to the past selves that the version from ourselves from the past. So not very clear. When we go into the sanctuary, we will inevitably meet an element from our past. We can use that word to that statement to tell them in now, and then we're going to be sort of getting a message from our future self. So it'll work. So I'm just gonna curl myself up here, cramp myself in. Okay, card number 1, 2, and 3. Good morning, welcome, Mandy. Okay, so card number 1. Wow, this is really powerful. This is going to be a really powerful question we'll be able to ask the element from our past when we find her in the sanctuary. Are you being honest with the universe? And that's the reason that we get stuck, is we're not honest with how we feel in any given time. For whatever reason, maybe because a lot of the time we're afraid to. It could be we get so busy in our heads, we already decide what that person or situation, what the feedback's going to be. So we just play God, and we think that we just keep it in. So we're going to be asking ourselves, are you being honest with the universe? And that's a really important thing for us all to start to really remember, that anywhere in our past, so this will bring up memories of maybe in the past where you weren't being honest about how you felt, and it will give you a chance to actually be honest with how you feel. Okay? Oh. Number 2, right now, in the now, we always have the power to choose the better feeling option. Now that doesn't mean that we don't do difficult things, or we don't do things that will be hard, but we get to choose to make it feel better, and we get to choose to maybe our inner critic saying, oh, don't do that, it's not very good. And we can choose not to listen to the inner critic, and we can choose to really commit to take responsibility for being here now. But also, in terms of, I'm going to quote Alicia Keys, who is obviously awesome. One of the things that she's really brought into her current, that seems to have changed her life, is she started to say, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? And it's like, that's you asking your soul, what's in it for me? So you do get to choose the better feeling option. You don't have to go, I don't mind, it's okay, whatever you think. Your responsibility is to choose the better feeling option for you, for your inner child, for your soul. You are your soul's life coach, effectively. You are your inner child's parent. You get to choose the better feeling option. So that's good. Oh, I like it. That's going to tie in really well, because I don't know if you were watching last week, I talked about we're going to go to, I said the basement, that sounds quite thing, but where there's a lower level to your sanctuary that I'm going to invite you to visit today. And so this will be that could tie in really well, because we're going to have some self-care down there. Okay, number 3. perfect. Our future self is saying, focus on how you want things to be, sweetheart. Focus on how you want things to be. She will meet you there. So it's very easy. The thing you have to realize, we have a mind, a brain that has been programmed to look for the problems, to look for what's wrong, it's programmed to do that. It's like, what's you get a phone call from someone, it's like, what's wrong, what's the matter. That's our default. So we really have to work extra hard to be able to focus on how we want things to be. So it's like, what could go right, what could be amazing. So that's really attention that our future self is saying to us. Okay, so I think we're going to get started. I'm going to open up the circle properly, and anyone that comes in during now, they can obviously catch up in the recording. But I don't want to start integrating too much more when we start doing the track. So take a deep breath. Welcome to the Circle of Light. I would love it, obviously, if you could share this. If this free experience really helps you, please share it with other people. That's your job, to be able to sort of share, pay it forward by sharing it on. My book was won on Friday, so that's actually another reason why I wanted to read chapter, and it's chapter 30, which feels a really important shift from when I remember when I turned 30. The sense of dissatisfaction was very there. So this kind of marks the shift into the seeing your future, because it's the last chapter of the first section. So obviously you can get the book on and Amazon and what have you. The cards are available on the Barefoot Ambition website if you want to get those. And I would love it if you could please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Bernadette Petrie. All of these have been put onto the YouTube channel, so you don't have to scroll through Facebook to watch them again. So you can watch them again and again and again. If you're just feeling that you want to go back and revisit one of the other sessions, they're all there. The last one is just loading up from last week today. It's a bit lazy this week. So yeah, that's there. So let's remember the words. The circle of light is you and me. It's a place where we can be safe to be. The shame, the shadows, they fall away. We question our thoughts. We change the way. When we change the way we see the world, we change the way we are. So I want you to, I'm going to read to you this chapter, chapter 30, which really ties in with what we're talking about at the intention that we want to get to at the end. When you serve from a full cup, everybody wins. One of the myths which I believe causes a lot of suffering, is the belief that we need to be selfless. So often in my childhood, I heard praise for those that were selfless to the end. People are admired for it, sainted for it. I cannot tell you the number of times I was told to be more like my namesake, Saint Bernadette. Like anything in life, without knowing all the details about what's happening within that person at the time, the act might not have felt selfless at all. The person might have felt deep joy in their giving, right to the end. In fact, they might have actually been experiencing oneness. However, those trying to emulate the same behavior may not experience the same joyful experience. So they end up feeling very resentful, burnt out, and in some cases very ill. A very different ending. What's the difference? Those who serve joyfully are serving with a full cup, so full it's overflowing. It's easy and joyful. Even those who might sacrifice their lives will have done so from a full cup, connected to the source of all love, the divine. They will have felt no separation. The feeling of oneness was so strong. The responsibility each of us has in this life is to keep that cup so full it's overflowing. We need to know ourselves so well that we pay attention to the feedback from our bodies. We need to learn what drains us rapidly and what restores us sustainably. What is going on in our planet is connected to with what's going on within each and every human. And just like the planet can and will joyfully serve us from a full cup, she will not be able to sustain this if her resources are depleted beyond repair. If each of us starts to take responsibility for the natural resources inside of us, our external world will shift too. We will feel oneness with the planet and others on it. Throughout my time working with people and their energy levels, I have seen many people serving with far from full cups. And I realised I was once the same. And yeah, I've been guilty of it recently too. I had a glimpse of our actual oneness in 2010. And crucially, my first lesson, if I was to serve this world in the way I believe I'm meant to, was to ensure that I stay connected to the source that keeps my cup overflowing. I learned that if I stay within my joy, my cup is overflowing and serving is almost effortless. An important indication of whether we are genuinely serving from a full cup is whether we feel energized or drained. And in my experience, there is no exception. Giving yourself permission to shine is sometimes saying no, especially when you realize your cup isn't as full as it needs to be. Think back to the times just now when you have felt more drained or more energized. That is your clue. With practice and daily devotion, we may at some point understand that we never have to leave the source of our sustenance, and we have the ability to be forever attached to the main supply. But let's face it, we are human. We will wander off on adventures unconsciously disconnecting from source, and in that moment we are no longer full but running on reserves. This can only last so long before we are running on empty. It often takes the running on empty experience for us to realize that we have become disconnected from source. Once we have remembered our true source, it becomes easier. The goal is living in the full experience now. This is indeed a noble goal, because if you achieve this, you are loving and cherishing the human that you are. That is personal responsibility. That is self-love. And self-love is the noblest, most godly ambition of them all. And that's what the circle of light is about. It is an hour of you giving yourself self-love. So think about that. Think about times, because when there's times where you can really remember feeling depleted. You know, these things stick in your mind. You know that feeling. And those are maybe some of that's what we're going to be drawing on when we go into the sanctuary later on today. So if anyone has any particular intentions or questions they want to share before we start into the meditation, now is your time. Just make sure we get my music right. I always have this little panic with the music. Hi there, hi. So we're going to be in we're going to be in the meditation for 40 minutes, just over 40 minutes. So if anyone has any questions or any intentions or anything that they want to put up before you close your eyes and get comfortable, now is your time. I'm going to remind you of the cards in the meantime. Card number 1, are you being honest with the universe? Card number 2, always choose the better feeling option. And card number 3, focus on how you want things to be. Okay. So now all you need to do is close your eyes. Take a deep breath. I'm going to guide you on a journey, a magical journey using your imagination that you've had, and it works. It's been building an inner sanctuary for you with every thought from your childhood and every experience maybe of other lives that you've had. You know, we have so much experience to be able to draw from. We have our soul has seen many things, and it can connect to our imagination. Okay. So let's all take a deep breath. Close down your eyes. I will have my eyes closed for a lot of this, so if anyone's coming in later, they'll just see me with my eyes closed. But right now you're at home, nobody else is watching, just relax. Close down your eyes. Let us really pay attention to our body. Pay attention to anywhere in particular that feels tight, that feels like it's maybe carrying an extra burden, or that's been triggered by anything that I've already said this morning. And just accept and honor those feelings in your body. Don't judge them. Take another deep breath. And now really, if you haven't been breathing from your belly, take a big belly breath. Just like a baby. Remember watching babies, they breathe through their bellies. So let your belly expand out. And now I want you to bring all your attention to the soles of your feet. Maybe you're sitting or lying down, no matter what. Just now bring your attention, your focus to the soles of your feet. And become aware of the life force, the energy field whirring around your feet. It's always there, but when we're in our head, we don't notice it. So now we're putting all our focus on our feet. We focus now on the soles of our feet, the top of our feet, our ankles, the front of the legs, the back of the legs, the knees, the front of the thighs, the back of the thighs. Feel that energy field awareness in your lower organs, in your belly. Feel the energy field awareness around your heart. Put your hands on your heart. The life force that's inside of you. Feel your humanity. Now pay attention as that life force, the awareness of that life force, moves up into your chest, onto your throat, onto your face, your chin, your nose, your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead, the top of your head, the whole of your head, the back of your head, your neck. And as you feel this energy moving now down each one of your spines, you're following almost the chakra lines all the way down again, all the way down to your lower back. Feel that force field within you. Accept that you are a being of energy on a human journey. Or if that's too difficult, become curious and play with the potential that you are an energetic being of light on a human journey. And allow your imagination to run riot and keep your mind so open. Now bring your attention to your palms to your fingertips and the palms of your hands. Feel that beautiful energetic pulse, that force field now moving through your hands, swirling around your arms, your elbows, your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders. And allow your shoulders to just drop and relax even further. Imagine now this feeling, this energy is flowing down your legs again into the soles of your feet. And this time I want you to imagine golden roots bursting out of your feet, moving down through the floor, underneath your home, right down until they've connected and pushing through the rocks below, down below the water table, and deep into the center of the earth. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine that you can see an incredible center of light, a pulsing energy. And you feel the roots being drawn to that pulsing energy. And in the count of 3, you connect with it. 1, 2, 3. Just see yourself, your human self, fully connected and able to feel all the strength, all the magic of this amazing planet. Get a sense of time dissipating. Get a sense of the beginning, and you feel a huge affection for all that is of this planet naturally. Now I want you to imagine that that feeling is just surging all the way up through the roots, and on the count of 3 you feel it in your feet. 1, 2, 3. And let that flood now all the way up through your body to the very top of your head. And you are here now, ready to go on a journey, connected to the earth. And you open your mind up to the possibility that there is far more going on than you can comprehend. And I want you to imagine now that you are stepping out of your body. Feel yourself standing, looking down on your human self sitting. And you are free to go on an imaginary adventure. Maybe take a moment to caress the cheek of your human self and thank her for having the presence to sit still so that your imagination can expand and go on a travel. And now as you turn away from this human body, you become aware of a golden archway. This beautiful portal has opened up just for you. And I invite you now to step into it. And as you walk through this portal, you walk along a corridor of light. You don't know where you're going, but you are ready to step into a circle of light with beings from all around the country. Everyone that is in their home will meet you in this circle. So as you step out onto grass, a beautiful meadow. And all around you see archways and you see people from the circle stepping. And we all step into this plane together. And we smile as we recognize each other. Beings of light on a journey together. And now collectively, it is our time to sit together in this circle. We all take a deep breath. Energetically, we feel very connected. And we all feel each other's emotions. Some feel heavier, some feel lighter, but collectively we give the gift of ourselves to each other. We own that we are individually and uniquely and collectively the light of the world. And all emotions are welcome. So just allow yourself to feel everything that's been going on with you in the last few days or week. You don't have to wear a mask anymore. Some people in the circle might want to slump over. Some might feel they need time. Some will be sitting strong. But we are all in it together. So just give yourself a moment now to be your emotions, to take the position that represents that emotion. Some of you might need to cry, some of you might need to scream. On this plane of existence, all of that is possible. Just allow yourself to be. And I want you all to imagine you're putting your hands onto the grass, onto the earth. If you've been lying down, your tears will have been, or you've been crying, your tears will have been carried away by the earth. But just feel a surge of strength rising through your body again as you feel this beautiful, high vibrational organism beneath your hands, beneath your feet. And collectively, as you look around the circle, you feel a deep love and acceptance for everybody there. And you feel a deep love and acceptance coming right back to you. And now you're ready. You're ready to go to your inner sanctuary, the next part of your journey. We will meet again shortly. But for now, I invite you to stand on your feet. And one by one, a new archway, a new portal will appear in the center of the circle, one for each and every person. And it is your choice and your soul's will that invites you to step into that archway. And when you step into that archway, you're going to arrive in your own dimension, your own inner sanctuary, a place where no one else can go without your invitation. No one is ever unwanted. This is your inner place. And your inner sanctuary is set in an environment, the most amazing natural environment that you need, that your soul wants you to really embody into your life here now all the more. So pay attention to the environment that you step into where your sanctuary resides. So now collectively we walk towards our own archways. And you step through the archway. And as you walk through the archway, You feel all the colours of the universe whirring past you. Constellations and stars and more than your mind can imagine whizzes past. And then you step into your own dimension. Feel your feet touch the surface that is perfect for you. The natural environment that your soul craves for you to spend more time in is where your sanctuary will be waiting for you. So pay attention to the natural environment that you're stepping into. Pay attention to the temperature, the air, the smells. Pay attention to the natural habitat that flourishes here. Notice whether there's flowers or trees or hills, water. Pay attention to it all. And allow yourself to step by step move deeper into this scene. And then invite you to lift your head up slightly and you'll see a pathway that has been walked many times before emerging in front of you. And I invite you to walk along that pathway. And it will lead you to a door, at the door of your very own sanctuary. And as you see your sanctuary in the not too distance in front of you, pay attention to the shape, to the materials that it's made of. And now you find yourself at the doorway. Put your hand on the handle and feel the door open effortlessly for you. And as you step in and close the door behind you, you feel more at home than you've ever felt before, and you feel so safe, so free. And you just allow yourself to savor this moment and to maybe catch your breath. It's okay. You don't have to be a certain way. Free to be you. I invite you to look up and to get a sense of your inner sanctuary, the shape, the colors, the decor, smells, the temperature, everything you ever need and every thought and dream you ever had has made this building for you. And you can return to this building at any time when you need stillness. So allow yourself now to walk into the center, where you will find the most comfortable space for you either to sit in or lie down in. If you feel cold, you'll find blankets. You might even have a fire. If you're thirsty, there will be water. If you're hungry, there will be food. Just allow yourself this moment of self-care, of nourishment. What emotions have you been resisting all the more? What emotions that even in the circle with other beings of light you are resisting or pushing away. Allow yourself to feel those now. And get a sense of maybe a time from your past, a period of time and experience where you felt the same sort of emotions that you've been feeling over the past few days or the past week. And see that version of you now appearing beside you. And give that version of you what they need. Do they need sustenance? Do they need a drink? Do they need warmth? Are they too hot? What is it that they need? Your job is to take care of them now. And just spend a few moments with this version of you that has emerged in the circle. And feel all that they were feeling in that moment, that they held deep inside. And take your hands and put your hands on their face and stare deeply into their eyes. And let them feel the unconditional love that they have been doubting they deserve. And see how differently they can see their life as it was then, with your perspective. Help them see through the eyes of people that you know truly love them in that moment, that yet they doubt it, love them. People that liked them in that moment, that they doubted they were liked. And just see the burden of all that misunderstood, insecure feelings, and feel them wash away. Now I want you to become aware of a doorway ahead of you in your sanctuary. A doorway that leads down some stairs. So you'll find your way to it. Just trust your intuition to go past the original opening. And right there, opposite the front door, is a doorway that you've never noticed before. And holding the hand of the version of you that has appeared in your sanctuary from the past, together, I invite you to step down the staircase. And you feel a bright light coming up from below the stairs, so it doesn't feel remotely scary. It is warm and expansive and inviting, and the staircase is wide and safe and enthralling. And as you move down the staircase together, you become aware that you're wearing beautiful white robes, you and this version of you from the past. And when you get to the bottom of the staircase, in front of you is this beautiful, beautiful pool of water, like an infinity pool. And all around are incredible tea tree lights and candles. It is so warm. There are robes and towels and everything you would ever need for you right there. There's a tray of warm food, your favorite kind of food. There is the most delicious beverages waiting for you. But first and foremost, there is an invitation from this infinity pool for you and this version of you from the past to step in together, to wash away any remnants of doubt that you are loved, for you to demonstrate to this version of you in the past that you are with her through everything. And so together you step towards the pool and you find steps leading you in gently and holding each other by the hand. You find yourself ankle, knee, and fully submerged in this beautiful pool. And looking deeply into each other's eyes, you allow yourself to dive right in. And the temperature is exactly that you need. It feels so magical. And you are no longer wearing a gown. You are free in the water, just like a newborn baby. Feel yourself surrounded by this incredible infused water. Sacred water washing away all of those doubts and fears and shames. And don't worry, this water is not deep. Your soul is deep, but this water feels so safe. You can stand up. You can lie on your back. You can do whatever feels good. Maybe some of you are still standing on the steps. That is okay. Just allow yourself to do what feels right for you and this version of you from the past. Maybe this version of you from the past is so young that you have to hold her in your arms. Just trust whatever has been created in your mind. But the pool is there to cleanse you both. And cleanse you it has. And now as you step out of the water, you wrap yourself in a warm towel and you wrap this version of you in a towel too. And depending on what age you are, you'll know exactly what is on that tray and what that version of you needs. And together you sit in this beautiful act of self-love and self-care. And you hold each other tight. like you would a young child. Or maybe you are even a young child in this moment. So embrace this part of you and allow yourselves once again to make eye contact. And you say to this part of you, from here on in, I promise for you to always choose the better feeling option. I will always choose the better feeling option for you. And now this version of you is ready to come home. She is ready to come into your present, current life. She no longer has to stay in the shadows. And as you sit by the edge of this pool, in the deep roots of your sanctuary, in the depths of your sanctuary, you feel this part of you moving into your heart, merging with your body. And you become aware of an incredible light force surrounding you. This being of light from the future, your future self, your eternal self, surrounding you and merging with you to give you a glimpse of the eternal, infinite perspective. And she says to you, the experience is not the lesson. The experience of your life right now, my dear, is not the lesson. The experience, the lesson is what you draw from this experience. The lesson is what you draw from the experience of this time on earth. This time in your life right now. So with the perspective of your eternal self, what can you draw from this experience that is a valuable lesson for your soul? And allow yourself to stay curious about that. And promise yourself you will remain curious about that in the days and hours to follow today. What you draw from the experience of now, what you draw from the experience of COVID-19, any personal challenges, any illnesses, any relationship challenges. It's what you draw from this experience that is the lesson for your soul. And feel the light and the awareness of your soul rising, expanding beyond your human form. And feel yourself expanding beyond the basement, beyond the center of the sanctuary, beyond your sanctuary. Feel yourself expanding through time and space, and that the sanctuary once again becomes in the very center of your psyche, a place inside of you that you can reach and return to at any time. And own that right now you are the light of the world. You can feel everything that's happening on the planet. And you have the capacity to feel it all. And you once again see the archway appearing in front of you. That is the expanded, gigantic being of light that you are, that you step back through. And this time when you reach the circle, you are surrounded by other gigantic beings of light. And you can sense the whole universe around you. And as the circle expands and grows, and light being after light being after light being, individually and collectively, we allow all the pain and suffering that is on planet Earth right now to be absorbed into our hearts. And in return, the planet and all the suffering feels the awareness, the truth of who they are, beings of light. And the healing happens now, and it happens for all beings that have ever walked the earth. And together, we feel the enormity of our mission here on earth, of our mission to be joyfully, fully ourselves without apology. We are never too much. We are not too loud. We are not anything other than free to be ourselves. So allow yourself to move your arms up as you stretch into this new version of yourself that is not afraid to be seen, that is capable of feeling so much, but has the capacity to transfuse it, to transform pain into love, suffering into joy. And you feel that moving through every single cell in your body. And together we are the circle of light. And we are free to be ourselves. And now it's time to step through the archway, leaving the circle on this plane, back into your own home. Now, once again, into your body. Feel yourself connecting and feel the version of you that is here, being brought up to speed with all that you've experienced, and feel that merging with your psyche, flooding down through all your neural pathways, all the way down to the tips of your toes, through your fingertips. Breathe in the truth of who you are. And now I want you to open your eyes. You're listening to the voice of Lucinda Drayton. Look her up on iTunes. An angel amongst us all. This is the song from the album Bliss. Your job is to be joyfully you. Joyfully you. That is your job. Thank you for being a part of this circle this morning. If you want to share anything or if you have any questions, I'll stay for another few minutes to answer any questions. Otherwise, this will be going up on the feed, so if you jumped in halfway through and you really want to experience the whole thing, I invite you and I encourage you to go back and watch the recording. For those of you that don't know, my name is Bernadette Petrie, the Soul's Life Coach, creator of the Barefoot Sanctuary, and it is my utter pleasure to do this healing work with anyone that is watching. Oh, I'm so pleased. Thank you. I hope for those of you that have been to the sanctuary before, your inner sanctuary, that you enjoyed going deeper into the realms of your sanctuary. And I hope you really pay attention to the place in nature where your inner sanctuary always is. If you don't live in that environment, your soul is asking you to move gradually to that environment. If you can go to that environment more frequently, even if you live in that environment, are you connecting with it in a daily enough basis? That is what your soul really needs you to do. And whichever part of you find from the past, really take your time today to reconnect with that version of yourself and to remember what it was that brought that version of yourself so much joy, and revisit some of those things if you haven't done them for a while. So there you go. Oh, you're so welcome, so welcome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And just a reminder, if you can share this, if you feel compelled to share this with any friends or family members. I would be honored if you did. If you haven't got the cards, remember, are you being honest with the universe? Always choose the better feeling option. I'm aware that these are back to front in terms of the writing, and focus on how you want things to be. That is what our soul is whispering to each of us today. And I, for one, am going to listen. Sending you so much love. I'll be back on Instagram Live reading from the book as of tomorrow. And I'll be back next Sunday for another Circle of Light with you all. And for now, obviously, we don't know when we'll be able to open the Barefoot Sanctuary. But my main message, and I think the lesson from this experience, is that the sanctuary lies within. And that is within you. And that is within me. Bye for now. The Circle of Light. The Circle of Light is you and me. It's where we can feel safe to be. The shame, the shadows can fall away. We question our thoughts. We change the way. When we change the way we see the world, we change the way we are.